how does yoga differ from mindfulness, or how does it include mindfulness in its practices?
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for that question as well. People sometimes do get confused over what yoga and mindfulness are.
Yeah.
And what I like to say is that yoga to us can be a way to explore mindfulness, right? I know that there's a lot of different kinds of yoga experiences, and all of them are valid and all of them are important to the practitioners. But if we can just, like we were saying before, pay attention to what we're doing with our bodies, with kindness and curiosity in the moment, then we're being mindful. And what's great about yoga is that it includes a lot of movement, a lot of activities that allow us to be connected to our bodies. And I'm finding that a lot of kids and a lot of adults have a hard time having a mind-body connection. So what yoga does is that it helps them connect to their body, and then we could bring mindful awareness to the body, right? And then those two things go hand in hand when we're trying to lead a life of compassion, a life that honors how we're feeling, but also supports other people. So that's how I find that yoga and mindfulness connect. But separately, yoga, a lot of people look at it as something that you do at a yoga studio. You have a teacher in the front, you're doing all these weird poses that people might not be familiar with. So that's definitely something that is beneficial. What mindfulness asks us to do is, as you're doing those weird poses, as you're listening to your teacher, can you pay attention to your body? Can you pay attention to what's happening inside your mind, your heart? And that's how yoga supports mindfulness and how mindfulness supports yoga.
And like yoga is like the physical aspect of mindfulness, I feel, but I also think that mental health is also very important. Like the whole reason we're doing this Peace Summit is because we want to try and get these social emotional learning like programs, these curriculums into schools and at all levels, which is why we're doing this for the middle school and high school. So,
Yeah.
so would you say one of your like personal missions is to get yoga into schools? Like do you think it's important for kids to know?
Yeah. So yoga is the way I know how to approach my body, right? With mindfulness. There's lots of different ways to approach it, like Tai Chi or even organized sports, right? And there's a lot of people that teach mindfulness to athletes, right? Or who teach Tai Chi or karate or other contemplative movements, right? Yoga to me is a nice way to do it, because when I go into a classroom, it's really easy for me to tell the kids, all right, let's stretch in a certain way, right? Let's move our bodies in a certain way that doesn't involve even getting off your chair, right? We do a lot of chair yoga. So to me, it's really easy to put those two things together. And also, to be honest, when you're working with middle school kids or when you're working with high school students, they're sitting most of the day, right? Like they're taking notes, they're listening. Maybe they get to switch classes every couple of minutes, right? But at the end of the day, they're sitting for so long that they need to move. So I feel that any kind of contemplative movement will be really, really helpful. And the truth is that kids love moving, right? That's why they're into sports. That's why they like to dance. That's why they like to kind of do a lot of physical activities. So what I do is offer them something that they like to do anyway, but I put a new spin to it. I allow them to explore it in a mindful way. So that way their bodies benefit from it. But also if their bodies are feeling good, then their mental health will also benefit, right?